I think of anybody who's...
Say it again.
Do you still,
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Do you still like to discover music?
Do I feel like I've...
No,
Sorry,
do you still like to discover music?
Oh, yes, of course. In such a different way now. I think that this record has inspired me to look at complicated music. During the record process, I was kind of devouring operas like Marriage of Figaro and Puccini's Tosca and Madame Butterfly and La Boheme, and all that information is so right at our fingertips now. It's not a super confusing world. You can go to a website where it's all completely transcribed and the Italian to English, and you can actually follow along an opera just like a book. And so I've kind of this record has opened my world up to music that I've never ever ingested. It's just been really nice.
Do you incorporate that inside the album?
Yeah, it's kind of inevitable that it happens, and these operas are such huge stories, and I think that they were more about a triggered psychological struggle of humans, and always mortality, and always love, and always loss. And on that level, the Used, as far as musical expression, and I think that's what's tricky, is there's so many different types of music, and I do appreciate music that you put on at a party. Like, I love Aphex Twin, and I love a lot of different types of expression, but for us, it's like sitting down to read philosophy. I feel like the Used is asking deeper questions, and we're making music for people who respect music like church, like a religious type of experience.
Mm-hmm. Through life, you know, there's certain times that you're listening to a certain genre of music, or even that in your day-to-day life, you know. Is there any specific album or artist that you were listening to on your leisure time while creating the album?
Yeah, the book I mentioned, Infinite Jest, it was one of my major inspirations for this book, and in the past 5 years, I think I've made it through it twice or three times, and it's if you know anyone who's read it, making it through once is quite the feat. And so I was inspired to kind of challenge my listeners in the same way that I felt challenged by David Foster Wallace's book. Once I finished the book, I felt like it was hard work, and I really struggled to get through it, and I learned so much in the process. And I think that humans are really, really ripe for that challenge. I think that we're naturally, innately explorers, and we're born to have incredible journeys as humans, and we're being taught to be so specifically numb to opportunities for love and for expression. I mean, the amount of time that we have in our day to soak things up, I think that our attention is being trained to be sparse. Anyways, so yeah, I think that the importance of a challenging piece of art was a huge inspiration to me, and everything I read feels like that. I love Dostoevsky and Nabokov, and I mentioned Thomas Pynchon, and these are complicated books that I feel fulfilled after I get through.